Welcome back to the channel, guys. Click like, subscribe to the channel. If you previously know me from the channel, you know that I am actually a tax professional at H&R Block, and I've been there for 8 years, and I'm a senior tax advisor there. So a lot of people have taken out these PPP loans, and they've been asking questions: how do I get forgiveness for those loans? Okay, so let me first start here. If you received any other loans, as far as from the government, like the employee recovery loans or anything like that, you weren't supposed to take the PPP. Okay, if you got one of those other loans from the government, you weren't supposed to take the PPP. But if you didn't and you just took the PPP, okay, those loans are forgiven if you had employees. Okay, a lot of people that I've heard from took it, but they weren't really eligible for it, or they didn't have employees. So if you find yourself in that case, it will be 100% taxable. You might receive interest and penalties on that. Okay, so if you were one of those people that went out and just forged, or you misrepresented that your actual business, or you were a startup business that misrepresented themselves, you will have to pay that back with interest and penalties, and plus, if you were found guilty, some jail time, because we're dealing with the federal government here. But I just put that out there because I've heard a lot of things on the internet, and I've seen a lot of things on the internet this past year, as far as people getting these PPP loans, and they really didn't have a business with employees. Okay, but if you one of those business that legitimately had employees, and you had okay, so you are eligible for the PPP loan, and then you use it for expenses such as your mortgage, some expenses that you needed for the business. But if 60% of the loan was for employee salary, for employee salaries up to $100,000, the loan is totally forgivable. Okay, so again, up to 60% of that loan was used for employee salaries, or their rate of pay, then you would be forgiven, and you will not be entitled to pay that back. But say if you use most of the loans for the business expenses and all that other stuff, and only 20% of it was used for for your employees, then you will pay the remaining 40% on that. Okay, you'll pay 40% on that, and you can take it off up to 2 years. So you can take 20% this year, 20% the next year. Okay, so you got 2 years to pay it back if you don't qualify for the forgiveness. A lot of us that were in business, or a lot of us that had employees, we usually used it for the 60%. If you used it for the 60%, then you would get the total loan forgiven. Okay, and so I'm going to cite a couple things in this article from H&R Block. I'll leave the link, or you can just Google Paycheck Protection Program loan. Put H&R Block behind it, and you can cite this article here. Okay. So as I stated, however, okay, so you can use it for rent, utilities, mortgage, interest. In order to receive forgiveness in the entirety of the loan, however, the portion at least up to 60% of the loan. Okay, so that's citing it there. If you can read it for yourself, you can. If you had more than a 20% drop in payroll employees earning less than $100,000, so they had to drop some employees, put them on unemployment up to $100,000. Then safe harbor applies. Confer with your tax consultant on that, and or if you use one of our programs, far as doing your self taxes, or you doing your taxes yourself, you can just ask the question, and then tax professional will come and help you and determine whether your business qualifies for that. Okay, so how do you apply for that? Okay, you will go to wherever you apply for the loan. So, Small Business Association, SBA. Uh, Again, it may take a little bit. Uh, so you will have to go to SBA. SBA will help you out with that. Okay, so where can I apply for it? So again, you go to SBA. It may take a little while for your application. It says between 8 to 24 weeks of origination, where you can ask for forgiveness for that loan. So 8 to 24 weeks from when you took that loan, you can ask for forgiveness. How long does the process take? Application with the lender is 60 days to review your application, and then 90 days to review your application for forgiveness determination. So make sure you kept good records. Far as you should be keeping good records anyway if you run a business, but make sure you kept good records, especially this year. You want to make sure that you're in forgiveness, the range of forgiveness, and a lot of people will be in the range of forgiveness. But if you did take it and you didn't have any employees, you are responsible for paying that back. Okay. Um, there won't be any interest as long as you put your application in before that. The loan will be totally forgiven. Okay. So make sure, guys, you get to sba.gov, not sba.com or anything like that. sba.gov. You want to make sure that you want to apply for this right away before you actually start to do your taxes, and then that way you can sit with your tax professional. You can tell them the details, and they'll go over the details of forgiving for the loan. They'll tell you the documentations that you need to have in order for you to forgive it, and then report it on your taxes. Okay. Again, we're going back. Let me go back and review. We're going over the Paycheck Protection Program, or the PPP loan. If you received it and you didn't have any employees, or you misrepresented, if you had employees or you didn't keep good books, you will be entitled to pay that back with interest and penalties and some jail time if they find it deemable enough for them to prosecute you. But if you had a legitimate reason to take the loan, you can take the loan as a forgiveness up to 60% of your loan was used for employee rate or rate of pay, or if you paid their salary up to $100,000. If you had to lay some people off, up to 25% of your labor had to be laid off. If they're under $100,000, you were able to forgive that too. Okay? Click like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.